cross off sharp job because we don't. If anybody has a sharp job
Yes.
at their house. You have a sharp
My
job?
father and mother,
Would you borrow it to Elf?
that's what I'm thinking.
That'd be awesome. Because sharks, they're, you know, they're so cool with the rows and rows and rows of teeth. It'd be awesome.
Don't ask my father-in-law has one.
All right. We won't ask that.
But yeah,
Great.
Okay, so I bet you guys can't guess which one I'm doing. I'm doing the traffic. So this is the craft one, but before you get into the fun part, especially if this is your first rotation, you'll need to discuss ahead of time and introduce them to the different skull structures and the concept of herbivores and carnivores and insectivores. And again, there's one of these skullduggery, what do we call them, tack things in this center. There are also different.
What's from my back?
There you go. So there's these handouts that talk about, like, there's two different kinds of herbivores, and then as you go through, it's important to point out, like this, like an ungulate, which would be like a horse, has a few teeth in the front, but most of theirs are these grinding teeth in the back. The gnawers, which would be like the beaver, have the long incisors in the front and then molars in the back for grinding. And you're pointing that out because they're gonna need to be thinking about what teeth do what job.
Here is a real beaver. Well, and that answers my jackrabbit question. The long teeth are for gnawing on the jackrabbit. Probably mice.
Well, yeah, and so also in this center are a few, these are really cool, from the visual dictionary. So this is an example of ungulate mammals, moose, horse, and different camels. Here, here's your gnawers. Carnivores. So all these are in here that will help you explain to the kids not only what it means to be a herbivore and to have that structured teeth, or a carnivore or an omnivore, but also then showing them specific examples, especially the insectivores. The hedgehog is, since they do hedgehog stuff. So you want to talk about make sure that they understand that there's different kinds of teeth for different purposes, and what animals, carnivores, insectivores, et cetera, would have those different kinds. Then you can, in this center, there's the horse tooth, and then the elephant molar that was going around is in here, and the false killer whale jaw. And you can discuss, that these teeth are obviously for carnivore. I'm struggling, sorry. And so on and so forth. So there's some good examples. The horse tooth is a gnar. This one's a lot like the elephant tooth. It's got the ground down right there. So, and that is a good way to get them observing and thinking about the structure of teeth and what shape different teeth would be, because then.
Oh, and on any of the centers, we don't care if you mix and match. If you want to talk to the person who's in charge of Center 3, and you're like, hey, can I have 4 random skulls or whatever for my center so I can show them the different type of teeth, and they're not going to use them anyway, because they're not going to have time to get through all of them, use those just for that time, and then just pack them back in the regular thing.
So then there will be a whole bunch of these in the bin, and they are outlines. That one's that shape, and then there's one that's a longer shape, kind of like the difference between these two, right? For outlines for and they're going to design their own teeth. So they'll get, for the younger kids, kindergarten and first grade, you might want to think about cutting these out ahead of time. But if you think the kids can do it, that's up to you. The other kids can pick whichever shape they want, and then they're going to design their own. Well, anyway, it works better if I just show like that. So, or the carnivore. So.
So many fun takeouts this time.
So, when you do this, what you wanna go through, and that, this is, in the outline, have them choose their animal first, and they can be a real or a made-up animal. And then have them determine what food is my animal gonna eat. So is it gonna be an insectivore or a carnivore, et cetera. And then, based on that, what kind of teeth is it gonna have? And then, so you'll draw it onto the card stuff, like, so if you were gonna do this, before I cut this out, I just sketched that, what I wanted to cut out of there, and then I cut it on, sketched it on here, and then I cut it out. Again, that might be a little tricky, so, but it's hard, they should just go for it, and whatever, an animal can adapt to be something else when they get done, if it didn't turn out exactly. So when you get done, they cut it out, they color it, and then to wrap it up, there's a sharing guide that just has, it has questions for you to go through with the kids and have them share with the group. What does their animal eat? What kind of teeth does it have? Is it a carnivore, herbivore, insectivore, omnivore? And so on and so forth. Are its teeth used for other things, for purposes other than eating? There's also a great book in here that has some fun little facts you could read while they're coloring. Like, for instance, when they're looking for water, rats might gnaw right through concrete pipes with their teeth. There's another really good one. A cockroach has no teeth in its head, but it has some in its stomach. They help grind up the food it eats. No. So that's pretty much, it's the graphs that are inside of here are the brads and a hole punch. So when they're all done coloring and cutting, then you punch a hole, and then you get one of the brads. Make sure they get their name on it. If you have time, they could write on the back what it does, what its teeth are used for. So that's about it. Please have any questions.
Any questions on Center 4?
Sorry, Abby, what was the name of that book?
My book, Teeth That Stab and Grind.
Don't you know it?
But yeah, no, I mean, those facts are in really great located little fact boxes, so you don't have to read the whole thing, you can just flip through and go, hey, there's
And that's in the Center 4.
Center 4, yeah. So I don't know if you guys mentioned it, but there's only 4 centers this time, so there's not a drop. So that's why obviously. It is late for me.
It's late. There are brads in here too, and paper punches, and there's a few scissors, but you'll want to get paper, colored pencils and crayons and all that stuff from your teacher.